Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today's second map today has been voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon, was a map that was always very likely to be reviewed eventually. Today's first map should have been reviewed last week, but I didn't think I was going to be allowed to. See, this is by a creator who is very aligned with one of the creators who's requested their maps not be reviewed, that being Exy, and of course I always honour this, and when I saw this creator's map come up I just naturally assumed, well, clearly you won't want me to. And then I checked my Discord messages and an olive branch has been offered, and so of course I'm going to take it. I'm going to have a little look. I'm quite excited to see what this co-creator can do on their own. But before we do any looking, we've got some clicking. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map is Morato, a vanilla map by Carina. Yes, Carina, lovely Carina, well known for their detailing on Eggsy's map and definitely a very accomplished detailer. But map maker, we will see. There's your start square. Do you know what? There's quite a lot I like about this. We'll look at that in more detail later. The terrain heights, we've got a couple of hill ridges that break up the map into thirds. That's like sort of thirds. And then you've got resources, a bit of field painting in the middle of the map, make it pretty playable for those of you that want to do a resource-based game. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and want to do some fishing, it's mostly anchovies. A little bit of salmon in the river. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Other than that, we're using the realistic 1.4.5 European beta, or beta, theme, and the realistic 1.2 LUT. And it's being used by a multiplayer conglomeration, my brain's gone, collaboration, links to all of those channels. I've had a little look and they're a mixture of creators on that collaboration from just a few hundred to just a few thousand. Good to see, very nice to see some people that aren't the multi-million viewer type people. Good. By the way, big old bridge, everybody loves a big old bridge. That's a very nicely balanced and scaled big old bridge. I'm a big fan of that bridge. Alright, and I'm a big fan of Carina's detailing work. What you're going to like with today, what I really like with today is the tree work on this map. It is just, apart from one little thing, which is a thing that bugs me on my own maps, and then seeing this coming up on somebody else's map, it's the sort of thing that niggles me. Probably doesn't niggle you. If it doesn't, then just ignore. Oh, by the way, cuttings. You'll see this a few times as well on the map, and we'll look at that in a little bit more detail later on. But yes, I'm really liking the concept. But where were we? Yes, so oh, also we've got a little section down here which seems to have some. I mean, they've got to be jinkies along here because they're way that we've just got the arrows just popping in. I'm just going to pop these out with a little touch, tiny little touch of the move it tool there, just to make those pop. But yeah, that's about the only place on the map that I could see that pop in. But yeah, that was just a little moment. We just had a little moment there. Okay, it's fine. So yes, 100% vanilla map, apart from the theme and LUT, which means that the map will work perfectly fine even without the theme and LUT. You can use vanilla. It'll be less pretty if you don't have the theme and LUT. Liking the way this road goes between, it's kind of framed between those rocks. How that would happen, obviously, again, with a little bit. I'm not going to do those bits of road there. But yeah, I'm liking the way it's been framed. How that would work in real life with the rocks, I don't know. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. I'm actually okay with it. It's not proclaimed to be a real life map. It's proclaiming to be a nice playable vanilla map, and I'm happy that that's what we have here. It's nice, it's playable, and it's vanilla. Tick tick tick. All of those little things are in there. There's probably a little bit of a balancing thing that I will show you a bit later on that I think could make the map just a little bit more playable. But other than that, everything is in the right place and is done to a good standard, and for those reasons we should applaud the work. Intersection here, just a nice little underpass under the bridge kind of thing, and again good clean standards going on there, and a nice buildable area to work into as well. So potentially a second tile going on down this way does feel like a thing that would work. And then we got some nice rivers on this map. One of them I'm not going to show you over on the edge of the map is, well, I mean, it doesn't excite me that much, but that particular one that we just crossed over, I would say is a very nice river. A few people saying, well, you should be showing rivers on the edge of the map like you do on every other map. I can't show everything on every map. Every map has got its own individual things that should be talked about. For the start square here is the main talking point on this map. This is a nice little balanced intersection as well, with the roundabouts on each side. It's a little bit off centre, a little bit squint, and everything about that intersection is absolutely delightful. And I'm going to stick by that. But yeah, every map has different individual things to talk about. If I do every single map exactly the same, looking at every single fine detail, imagine if we look at a substandard map, not this map, a substandard map, and then talk about the individual details of why every single river on the edge of the map is not quite perfect when everything on the map is not perfect. Nice main intersection here, by the way. Look at this. And we have the cutting running through with the rail. I think we'll jump across to the rail at this point. We will be coming back to this this intersection and this cutting a little bit later on. So if there's stuff in there you want me to talk about, I will be. But yeah, there are things on this map that if we look back to Prior, I know there was a lot of discussion about a certain river on Prior. But for me, that was a main talking point. I mean, the entire map is totally glorious and it's a 5-star map, but for me that was a talking point. And so for me, the talking point here will be the start square, and that's one of the things we'll come back and look at. And the river that is slightly substandard, I'm going to say none of the rivers on this map are as exciting, as glorious as the most glorious maps, rivers on Pariah, but it's not proclaimed to be. It's a vanilla base game style easy playable map. It's a different sort of map. Sorry, I'm getting angry with myself now. Look at the tree detailing, okay? This is where Carina comes to life. Just the shapes of these. It's not overly worked. It's not cleverly worked. It's just subtle. The shapes are subtle and enough to make a vanilla map just a shine, okay? And that's what we have in these lowlands. We have all of the, I mean, even the field painting down here, where we just got the hints where the trees are. It suggests that there are the hedges. It suggests there are hedges. Oh my, talking is hard, isn't it? But again, it's very nice, and they're not afraid. Words are not working. They're not afraid to put some trees in the fields as well, which you do find, especially over here in Europe. There will be the odd tree clump or whatever in the field as well. Anyway, let's have a look at this start square. Right, so start square works well on its own. Head over here. This could be a second tile. I like that. How about this one for a second tile? Different. We've got rivers, we've got bay, we've got ferries maybe. How about this one over here? Again, works very nicely as a second tile down towards the harbour area. And this one kind of works. Kind of works up into the hill. We've got a slope running up into the mountain there. For me though, this is a little bit steeper than, shall we put the terrain lines on there? There we go. This is a little steeper than I'd like it to be. It is workable for a buildable, but it's just a little bit steep, but it is kind of workable. Could be a little bit more workable if it wasn't quite as steep. And we will be talking about that entire mountain in a few moments' time, which is my big grumble on the whole map, that entire mountain. But looking at the mountain ridges, I love this mountain ridge going on along here. That's a very nice mountain ridge. And then if we have a look at the mountain ridge from, say, about this point, I'm loving this mountain ridge. Works very nicely with the map. So is there another one over here, but right on the edge there, so it doesn't really matter. But then we have this one. This one's a bit too much. There's nothing wrong with the shape. It's kind of the size and the location of it. It's like too close to what is a very playable start square. It's very wide, takes up probably about 4 tiles worth of space in a very strong buildable area. I think it could, if it was trimmed down a little bit to maybe the shapes and sizes of the other 2 mountain ridges, I think that would open up a lot more gameplay down this side of the map here. This is very nice. Of course, everybody's favourite factory. This is very nice. Simple, straightforward, clean, tidy, good work. Works perfectly with the map as well. I'm good with that little sidings factory area. We'll go with that. Harbour area there is pretty neat as well. I have no grumbles with the harbour area. And then if we head down here, a little bit of water glitching because we're using the vanilla rocks. That is to be expected. Sometimes these bits pop out all on their own, and sometimes they stay there for the entire playability of the map. But I have to point it out because I pointed it out on other people's maps, so I have to point it out here as well. Ah, the Essential Lighthouse, isn't she lovely? And the answer is yes, she is very lovely there. And again, the detailing working up to it's very neat. We do have down here a sunken ship, which has been in there so long it's kind of merged into this rock. Just clips them through the rock a little bit, which is just a little... these things have to be noticed a little bit, just a little bit. Down here, I did say we could have a look at this cutting, and we're going to have a look at this cutting. The cutting is nice. I'm liking the shape and the design and the idea of it. And there's room for more than one line down here if you want to put some... Oh, look, there's a slightly floating rock over there. It's about the only one on the entire map. Ignore it, okay? But what we have here is a cutting that's wide enough for about 4 lines. Except for when we get down here, we have pillars. Pillars in the cutting, if they'd been outside of the cutting, would make room for more lines. So let's imagine that we're moving those pillars, and we now have room for 4 lines down here. I'm liking this. 3 maybe, possibly 4. Find our way through all the pillars and move all the pillars out of the way again. But then it narrows up to a pinch point down here where it's just about wide enough for 2, maybe 3, no, but definitely say 2. It's almost beautiful. Almost beautiful is what I'm going to describe that as. Very much like me. Those of you who've seen me streaming now will know what I mean. So almost beautiful. We've got the river run down. This is the river that I really like on this particular map. Okay, I really like that. That scores big points. This one, I'm skipping the one that goes off on the left somewhere over there. But this one has for me the bigger problem on the map. This one's for me is a distraction on the map, sadly. It's very nice until we actually hit the mountain section. Okay, this is fine. The mountain section is kind of okay at first. You're looking at it, there's nothing wrong with that, BonBon. What are you talking about? It's fine. It's a nice shape, but it's very wide. This is across the width of it, 200 meters. For a mountain stream, it feels... I mean, every time I looked at it, I thought, that looks very wide. Yeah, that's just a little bit too wide for me. A little bit of lack of control on the mountain river there. But if we talk about the good stuff, the tree detailing. I've mentioned that already, haven't I? I did say, though, there was something about the tree detailing that niggled me. That niggles me on my very own maps as well. This is very nice in here. Again, some nice shape and nice working with the ridges to highlight and accent the hills. But when you get to the hills, if you put these clumps of trees on the top, they just look like, well, they look like wigs, don't they? Little clump of trees here, a little clump of trees, especially on the top, on these mountain tops here. I find that distracting. And I don't have a way around it really, short of not having mountain trees on the top of mountains. If you check my maps, you'll see that I always start with them on there though, and end up having to remove them because they bug me too much. It's a personal pet peeve. There you go, water glitch there, just sorted itself out on camera. Did you see that? You might want to take the thing back a few frames to have a look at that. Anyway, another perfectly nice river over here going up to the mountains, and again, and this is a good one. Okay, this is how that big mountain river could have been. If it had been more like that, I would have liked it a little bit more. I would have done. I don't think I've shown you the shipping. A bit of detailing down here, by the way. This detailing area here is a little bit of a nothing. I would just ignore that completely. Doesn't add anything, doesn't really remove anything, but it's all right. And then we got It's a Castle. It's a Castle is a very nice little rectangular castle. I haven't got too much to say. I like the location, and I think it definitely adds a little bit. I don't think it's mind-blowing, but it's fine. It's fine, and it adds something to this part of the map, which is good. And now I've forgotten to record the shipping and the water flow for the area. Water flow is fine, okay? The shipping doesn't give you access into the harbour area. That's the thing. If you had a little the rectangular harbour area that we saw very briefly, I imagine that is where you're going to be put. There are parts in that harbour where if you put down your harbour, you're not actually going to get any shipping to connect. So yeah, sorry, I thought I'd recorded that. I've slipped. -1 star to BonBon for the review. Probably -2 stars, probably. Anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. It takes you to the voting page where you can vote for free. And please vote. People are being lazy these days. I want to see more votes, please. Thank you very much. Right, what do I think of today's first map? Well, aesthetically, it's nice. The overall top-down design I like. I think the mountains, especially that big lumpy mountain in the start square area, that doesn't really pop as much as it could do. And so, all told, I'm going into 4 stars, but I'm going to go at the bottom end of 4 stars for aesthetics. For detailing, it's Carina, the clumpy trees, and of course the little detail area that meant nothing and little things like that. I can't go higher again than a lowish 4 stars, but the good areas are strong areas. And I like the idea of the cuttings, just a little bit more finesse, and they're going to be top draw. Gameplay, I really like this. I think it's strongly playable. The start square could be a little bit more so, like I say, with the mountain, if it was redesigned a little bit, would give you a little bit of mountain hills to build into at a playable level. So I'm going to go 4 stars, low to middle. Morato, a vanilla map by Carina. I really like it. Just niggled a little bit too much by that river to give the seal of approval. So I'm going to be a tight ass. Sorry. And so on to today's second map, a stylistic, very easy playable, almost slightly deserty style map by a creator we've reviewed once in the past, back in episode 1391, where they got 10 stars. Very solid score. And today's map's going to be in that category, apart from one small issue. This map's been voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. Of course, you can join me over there, get your vote in, and we can have a selection of different maps, thanks to you. And thanks to the creators as well. Today's second map, anyway, is Buckwater Bay by beeoasis. This one's very stylistic, a little bit classy in places, and some strong, clean lines and detailing too. There's your start square, a little bit of access to the beach there. I like that idea. Terrain heights, lots of flat buildable space with some hills around the outside, just for a little bit of a difference. Strong resource painting, it's field painting, but the fields are kind of large, so that will kind of work. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's mostly shellfish with some anchovies and a hint of tuna. Off to the workshop. Oh, what do we need? Well, no DLC required today. Or is there? A short list of requirements. Be nice to have a one-click collection. We'll get to that in a moment. We've got a few little farming props there. We'll be using the Aus Los Angeles theme, the Real Neutral Relight Vibrant LUT. And in the comments, we have actually got a link to a one-click collection created for us by Tekaz. Thank you very much for that, Tekaz. Directly above that, we've got Matty asking why tons of roads are missing. A few of you will already be ahead of the curve on that one. So anyway, what we have is some nice little bits, hints of farming detailing. You'll spot a few here and there. And some stylistic, clean, and clean is I think the word we're going to use today, detailing. The detailing is clean, it's crisp. It's maybe too clean. maybe too crisp, but that's why I'm going to use the stylus stick. It's got a real stylized look to it, this map. If you want to make it more grubby and more dirty, then that's part of your city build. Go ahead and have fun. Now, one thing that I think can be overlooked really easily is not what detailing you put in, but what detailing you deliberately take out. Like here, we've got these tree lines very clearly put in using a mod, maybe the prop line tool, maybe tree anarchy, something along those lines, one or the other. We've got perfectly straight lines of trees, but we've got the occasional missing tree here and there. And, well, the mod hasn't missed them out. Like here, we've got one on the right there, one slightly off on the left there, another one on the right there. These have been deliberately removed by beeoasis. Now, it will keep the tree count down a little bit, not that that's really an issue on this map, but it just makes things a little bit less clean and breaks things up just a little bit and makes it possibly a little bit more realistic. Here's our roundabout. Nice bit of intersection marking tool work going on there as well as some hedge detailing on the roundabout. Again, quite clean. Got a little bit of a jinky on this one. Yeah, bit of a jinky going on there. And a whole heap of trees missing from the left there. Again, I just like it because everything else is perfectly straight and perfectly clean. And if every single tree was there, it would be obviously overdone, possibly. There is a creator, we haven't seen any work from them for a while, I'm not going to drop their name in, but they used to make maps fairly similar to this, more green than desert maps. They used to make maps of the same sort of standard. We're talking like a 9 to 10, maybe 11 star creator, and all of their maps were perfect in terms of there weren't any trees removed here or there. And it's got a little bit of a, this could be popped just a little bit. Again, I'm not going to do it now, but I thought I'd point it out as we're flying over it. Yeah, but that particular creator, we've reviewed quite a few of their maps. They go back quite a while, at least a couple of years to the last one. There's your start square, by the way. Again, the fields in that area are quite large, definitely big enough for housing estates or some industrial zoning. We've got the elevator to the ground level highway ramp here, which is causing a little bit of glitching by pushing the road down where the terrain down where it doesn't really want to, and so we've got a little bit of glitching there. I thought there might actually be a pillar under the highway here, but there wasn't, so credit for that. But yes, I'm thinking of specific creators where all the lines were crisp and pristine and all the fields were cleanly lined with hedges, but there was never any trees removed. And this beeoasis work is actually just, I say, it's crisp, it's clean, it's perfect, and yet it's got bits taken out to make it slightly imperfect, and I like that. Got 1 or 2 trees just clipping through the underside of the highway. On the whole, this map doesn't have any trees hiding under the highways. I think we've found about the main reason, well, the main occasion that there isn't. Now, missing roads. I don't know if you notice we're down to a 2-lane highway here. Now, this 2-lane highway is indeed a mass transit highway. You will need mass transit for this one, otherwise there will be roads missing. Missing roads is a sad thing. It's a very sad thing. But I think this map's going to be, if you got mass transit, it'll be fine. But I do think it might be broken without it. Might be. But yeah, just a question of if you got mass transit, you'll have a good time with this, I feel. Strong shapes. We've got rail as well. It's a flat map, so we're not going to have too much in the way of uppy downies with the rail. There might be the occasional issue of a tree encroaching on the highway, on the rail lines. I'll leave you to look out for that. Nah, I'm just teasing you. Just teasing you. There isn't. But yes, it's just one of these maps that I think you come up with a basic design, and then it's finding the right amount of detail on it for it to pop without it overkilling it, without it causing huge lag. And all of that on this map more farm detailing on. We'll have a look at the farm detailing in a moment. But yes, having about the right amount of detailing on a map, and I think on this style of map, I think beeoasis has got just about the right amount on, so we'll give some plaudits there. Now, if you're doing nothing tomorrow night, UK time, 9 PM, I will be streaming from Bonbon Island. Good to have you along in the chat, and you can help me decide how we're going to be detailing Bonbon Island. And well, I'm just having a lot of fun with that one. I'm having as much fun in the chat with you guys as I am actually playing Cities Skylines. So be good to have you along if you can. Again, that's Thursday night, 9 PM on this channel. Be there or be somewhere else. I'll be usually streaming for about an hour and a half or so. So yeah, plenty of time to come and join in. Liking that Long Island there with the elevated rail, that just like adds something a bit different to the map that actually works in the map. Many a map that wouldn't work, but this one it does. Liking the shapes of the hills and the simple shades of tree detailing just in the valleys and the crevices, just to make it pop a little bit. It's not the most polished tree work in the hills, but it's clean enough. It's clean and crisp, and I'm okay with it. And look at the prop lines going on here. Plenty of time spent with the fields. I'll tell you what, the field, but I know we've got a bit of lag here. There's a lot of rendering being done by my computer. Fairly high. I've got the settings quite high today as well. So yeah, sorry for there was a little bit of tree lag going on there. Anyway, that's all nice, but we haven't really done any jumping around, and there's a little bit of jumping around to do. I do like the oval shape. We've got some little islands over here. Let's do some swooping rather than jumping down to the islands. Liking the shapes of these islands. I think they add just a little bit to the map. Just a little bit. It would have been a bit boring out here without them. They don't do a huge amount, but they do something. They tie everything in just a little bit. Anyways, farm detailing. We just liking the use of the props. These aren't just randomly placed down. They're put there with a large degree of thought. Little plops. It's a believable little farming area, and I like that. Like here again, this isn't just a copy and a paste of the last one. This is just a very nice little farming area, and I'm liking the layout of that as well. And there's a lot of these little farming areas. There's another one over here, which is, hang on, this is identical to the last one, isn't it? Hang on, let's go back to that one. Let me, yeah, those are just copy and pastes of each other. I guess no one's going to notice. Still, at least that won't happen again. Like here, we've got that guy, the digger there. We've got that coming out at a jaunty angle. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, we've got another one that's copy and pasted. These two are identical as well. Not that it really matters. Come on, a certain amount of cheating is allowed. Nobody's going to notice that, are they? BonBon? No, not me. I would never notice such a thing. I'm not marking the map down for it. It's just, it adds to the clean, crisp detailing if you've got a bit of symmetry. Oh man, I'm mean, aren't I? I'm so mean. Anyway, oh look, we've got a little dam, the world's smallest dam. Look at this. Oh, we've got a drowned tree as well. Don't worry, he's got his trunks on. But the world's smallest, that won't really work for producing any power. But I'll tell you what, it's cute. And I think it works in terms of an aesthetic addition to the map. Anyway, what do you think of today's second map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now. Yeah, or the link in the description, and it'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free. But remember to vote on the correct map, please. It'd be so helpful. What do I think of this second map? Well, aesthetically, it's stylish, it's iconic, it's memorable, it's a little bit simple, a little bit like me, one might say. I think overall, I think we are scoring 4 stars, but I've got to go at the bottom end. Mostly because it's stylistic, it's memorably stylistic and clean. It's good. Detailing. The detailing is clean and stylistic. Lacking a little bit of je ne sais quoi, but it's still clean, and I can't give 4 stars for this. I can't give 4 stars to both. Only over the top end of 3 stars. It was one or the other. Gameplay potential. While we are missing mass transit, I think the map still works, because I still think the outside connections will still reach the start square. So it's not broken, but I am going to drop it down into 2 stars, because leaving out an essential DLC is a sin. There you go. Buckwater Bay by beeoasis. It is stylistic. It's got a nice shape and a nice feel to it, and some good standards going on in there as well. And I like the extra effort that's being taken here and there. I also like the extra effort that comes from you when you are part of the 20 and out elite. If you feel like it, use the words of the day in the comments to prove you're part of that elite. And I'll be back tomorrow night with this live stream from Bonbon Island, and Friday with what map? Your next map for your next city, but your best map for your next city. Oh, I don't know.